really, they're even more appealing to the children. So you cut them and you give them variety and you have a lot of different things out. And you say, oh, well, Mom, I really want this. Well, you know what? Remember the rule. When you first get home, this is what you have to eat. Maybe you make other things an option for them later. But there has to be certain times in the day where you have a plan with what you're going to give them. And then let them know. Oh, my goodness, you know, you want to play, you're running track in school. This is going to make you so fast. Do you know that this is going to make your skin so pretty? This is really, this particular fruit has all these benefits for your skin. Did you know, maybe they have a test at school that day and you put something in their smoothie. Did you know that that's going to make you so smart for your test? It has a lot of benefits as it relates to memory and brain functioning. So you let them know the benefits. You don't just say, here, eat this. Let them know why. Let them know what it's going to do. Do a quick Google thing if you don't know personally and find out the benefit before you give it to them and just kind of let them know. Does it take a little effort? Yes. Is it worth it? Yes. It absolutely is worth it. Because even though we don't get everything right as parents, there are some things that even shouldn't be, they should be a high priority for us. Some things, and one of them has to be the health of our children. And let me tell you what's interesting. You know that that's important because if little Johnny goes out and falls off the bike and he scratches up his knee and he's bleeding, you're very concerned. Why? Because his health is jeopardized. He's hurt. He's in pain. You know that he's not whole at that moment. Or he breaks something in his body, like literally you're sick in the inside. So if you care about their health from that standpoint, this is no different. This is no different. The only difference is when little Johnny falls off that bike, you see the blood. Or if he breaks something, you see the x-ray and you see that there was damage done. The only difference is when you are neglecting their health, you don't see the damage right away. Or you do see the damage, but instead of using food as medicine, now all of a sudden little Johnny is on meds for ADD or ADHD or other mental disorders or behavioral disorders, because now you see certain issues that he's having or she's having, and so you want a quick fix. You want a doctor to give you some drugs so that you can give the drugs to the baby because, again, you're like, hey, that's good enough. Really? Allowing your baby to start taking drugs is really the answer? Number one, it's not solving the problem. It's putting a Band-Aid on a problem. And number two is making them addicted to drugs. They're druggy already. And let me tell you, did you even realize, now that I mentioned the word addiction, I got to make sure I focus on this word addiction just for a second. Did you know that you're helping them to be addicted to sugar? Which I was addicted to sugar. You would never help your child be addicted to drugs, but you're helping them be addicted to sugar, which is a drug. Which causes you to have withdrawal symptoms for the first week, 2 or 3 that you even decide to cut it out of your system. Did you know that a long time ago we only consumed 5 pounds of sugar per year per person as an adult? 5 pounds of sugar per year per person. Now we're up to 150 pounds of sugar per year per person. Addicted to sugar. That weighs more than some people weigh. Some adults weigh. 150 pounds of sugar. Consuming it, eating it, drinking it. This is a very serious topic, very important topic. And you could either close your eyes and close your ears to it, or think it doesn't apply to you. Be in denial. Or you could say, I want to take control of my child's health. I want to have a say in my child's health. I want to be an example. I'll give you an example too. Sometimes it could be different with a different child. Let's say you have 2 or 3 or 4 children, okay? And you notice that with most, let's say you have 4, and with 3 of the children, they seem to be fine, and you have 1 that's starting to become overweight. Then you want to nip it in the bud. You want to address it right away. And you can do this with the whole family if the whole family's, let's say, for instance, that person, that particular child is your quote-unquote picky eater, and they're not eating exactly the same as the other children. And so you know you need to focus just on them. But let's say all 4 of them, their eating habits are terrible, but that one just happens to be gaining more weight. Then you need to address it with all of them, even though the other 3 doesn't appear to show any outside symptoms. But let's assume you have 4 and it's just this one who they constantly crave sweets, or they are constantly craving chips and snacks. And you say, okay, here's what we're going to do. For the next 30 days, you and I, we're going to do this together. Or you can have them do it by themselves. It just depends. You have to, it has to be based on their age and their personality, whichever one will be better for them. So you're going to do this 30-day challenge and know what motivates that child. Are they motivated by the challenge alone? Will they be motivated if there's a reward at the end? Obviously, don't make the reward candy. Are they motivated by kind of buddying up and partnering up with someone? If that's the case, you want to do it with them. Are they motivated by having order and a routine? That way you want to make sure it deals with something at the same time every day or whatever. Are they motivated by fun? If they're motivated by fun, make it fun. Okay, so once you find out what motivates them, you set the challenge. For the next 30 days, we're not going to have any sugar, any sweets, any candy, any cookies, pies, cakes. Write it down so that there's no confusion as to what you're saying they can't have. What junk foods? All junk. You can't just say junk food. Break it down. Chips, sodas, candies, cookies, pies, cakes. And for 30 days, you cannot have any of these. And what we're going to do is whenever you want something sweet, we're going to have fruit, which is truly what our bodies are designed to consume when we have a sweet tooth. That's really, truly what it wants. So you're going to have a plethora of fruit available so that they can have access to it. Every time you're hungry, that's what you're going to grab. Every time you're hungry for something sweet, that's what I want you to grab. No junk food for 30 days. And make it fun. Make it fun. Maybe once a week for that 4 weeks, you do a game with them, or do a little scavenger hunt throughout the house like they normally do with Easter eggs and an Easter egg hunt. Do like a scavenger hunt with different fruit that you place strategically throughout the house. And you're like, I took the basket, I put it all throughout the house, fill up the basket. For every piece of fruit that you find that I put around the house, you get $1 or whatever. Whatever you know will motivate them. But just make sure you make it fun. And then I'm telling you, the kids the weight comes off of them, the extra weight comes off of them easily. You start noticing all the benefits easily. You start noticing they're not moody and they don't have these mood swings, and that it's just interesting. Everything changes about them. They're more respectful. Their grades will start improving. They will start to want to go out and be more active and do more things outside versus inside in front of the computer or a video game. They will bring it up. You won't even have to bring it up. So now what do? Weekends, maybe the whole family gets together to do something that's active. Okay? Show them how to make frozen treats with fruit. Put the fruit in the blender and then put it in the ice cube trays. Put a little stick in it so they can have little popsicles with real fruit instead of sugar and water and coloring. So you can get involved with it. But it has to be important to you. You have to know that if it's not important to you, then that's something that you are making a choice for your child right now that they're going to have to live with for the rest of their lives. That is not in their best interest. It's not in your best interest if you choose to not be active with that. If you choose to say you don't have time for that, or you don't want to learn about it, or you don't want to help them with that area, or you just give up on them and say, well, they're not going to go for that. They only like this, and so that's really it. I've tried other things. You're going to give up on your child? Would you give up on your child if they just fell off of something and they're sitting there screaming, crying out your name? And are you going to give up on them then? You're going to ignore them and say, oh, they've fallen so many times and have hurt themselves so many times. I'm tired of running out there saving them. They're just going to learn today. Would you do that? Absolutely you would not do that, because that's your baby. You care about them. You love them. You want what's in their best interest. So you would go out there every time. It doesn't matter how many times they hurt themselves. You'd run out every time. So that's what we have to do when it comes to this thing called weight. Mommy, why am I fat? Really, they're fat because of mommy and daddy. They're fat because of their parents. They don't buy food. They don't cook food. They don't contribute as it relates to their eating. And their eating is important. You put the wrong thing in the car, it will not function. It will only be a matter of time before it breaks down. And it will not perform optimally. It's no different with our bodies. So that means you are the cause of your child not being optimal. You take full responsibility of that. And so not only is it going to affect them now, but it's going to affect them in the future. So why am I fat? Because of me. And either my lack of knowledge or my lack of action. It's not your fault. It's my fault. So from here on out, I'm going to do something about it. We're going to do this together. And this is going to be fun for us. Because nobody wants to do anything, a child or adult, that seems like it's going to be so difficult and so, like, you don't even look forward to it because it just seems like it's going to be stressful or difficult or time-consuming. No, we're going to make it a part of our regular life. We're going to include it, and we're going to make it fun. And it may seem like it's a little challenging in the beginning just because it's new. But one thing I will tell you is that every week it'll just seem normal, just like the example of tying your shoe. The more you kind of practice it, the more it's like, oh, this isn't that bad. And then before you know it, they're liking stuff they didn't even like at first. They're loving stuff that you would have never guessed they would have loved at first. They're saying, can I have more of that? Fill in the blank. And we're going to be talking about healthy and nutritious foods. That's what they're going to be asking you for, requesting. But they're not going to request it if you're not giving it to them. And if you don't give it to yourself. It's just not going to be part of the household, and then it's not going to be part of their lifestyle. So it starts with you making a choice to do it. Say it right now. I'm going to do it. It starts today. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. It starts today. It starts right now. So let me get my kitchen together. Let me sit the family down and let them know what we're going to do, and let them know how it's going to be a fun thing, how we're going to infuse this into our lifestyle. It's going to be fun. You wouldn't sweat it if you had to sit the family down and talk to them about planning a vacation to Walt Disney. Hey guys, we're going to Walt Disney. You'd be looking forward to it. So you should look forward to the talk you're going to have to them and say, guys, we're going to make some changes. Why? Because we love you so much that we want to make this fun for our family. And we're going to measure your results. You know, don't be obsessive with it. Once a month,